Hi, this is Johnny Wimbrey, and I want to invite you to step into the Wealth Development Club with me. I'm committed to awakening your inner wealth and increasing your financial wealth at the exact same time. So stay focused and join me in the Wealth Development Club with your host, Johnny Wimbrey. Hello, this is Johnny Wimbrey, and welcome to the Wealth Development Club. I'm super excited to have you in my studio right now. Listen, I'm excited about the subject that we are about to talk about for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and that's about becoming a published author. You becoming a published author. I cannot tell you how many times around the world, speaking on stages, in television, radio interviews, and even doing personal coaching sessions with individuals who are just like you. I cannot tell you how many times the question and the subject comes up, Johnny, how do I become a published author? Listen to me. I'm going to share with you how I did it, how I've helped dozens of individuals who are just like you around the world to become published authors as well. And I want to talk about this because, people see my books, whether it be in airports or bookstores around the world, and people say, Johnny, how did you do all these books? How did you have time to write all these books? So here's what I want you to understand. It had nothing to do with the time that I had. It had something to do with the strategic partnerships and individuals who in my life who were willing to help me and coach me. I want you to imagine if it were possible for you to become a published author just in the next 90 days, in the next 4 or 5 months, would you be interested? I want you to understand the easiest thing that I've ever done as a businessman is become a published author. It's the easiest thing that I've ever done that is directly related to me making millions of dollars. And here's why. It's not because of how many books I sold. I've printed and sold well over 100,000 books around the world, but it's not about how many books I sold. It's not about, how many book signings that I did. As a matter of fact, this particular book right here, Conversations on Success, is one of the very first, it is the first collaboration book that I've ever done in my life. And if you look at the book, you'll see myself. It's when I used to wear my hair. And Brian Tracy, Dr. John Gray, and my legendary friend, Mr. Jim Rohn. And I've done projects and I've shared the stage with all of them. This book changed my life. It changed my life, and it's not because of how great my chapter is in this book. It's the strategic alliance with these global, powerhouse names that are out there. The value itself changed my life. As a matter of fact, the money that I had to pay to be in this book is a very small investment in terms of what it has turned into the millions of dollars in revenue just based on this book. So you have to understand something. If you're writing a book to be popular, you may be writing a book for the wrong reason. But if you're writing a book to brand yourself as the expert of your subject, I can help you with that. If you're watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, I want to be a published author, but Johnny, how do I get started? How do I get started? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to costarauthor.com. It's right here on the page, www.costarauthor.com. I want to interview you. I want to interview you to see if you have what it takes to team up with me as one of my co-authors who's going to co-star in my next book called The Breakthrough. Now, here's the deal. This book that I did back when I was 28 years old, 15 years ago, I could have sold these books for $20 a piece. I have given away more of these books than I will ever sell. Why? Because my books, I look at them as glorified business cards. Here's why. You walking in with a book will get you through doors that a business card cannot get you. You saying, I have co-authored a book with Johnny Wimbrey with Les Brown. That will get you through doors that business cards will never be able to get you to. If you've ever had a desire or a passion to be interviewed on a show like my show, or maybe it's a live show in a studio audience, whatever it is, I'm going to help you brand yourself as an expert. People say, Johnny, how did you get on the Steve Harvey show multiple times? How did you get on the Today Show? Why did they call you when Michael Jackson died? Why are you working with celebrities as a life coach? None of that would have happened if I were not a published author. It's the published author because listen to me, if you have any competition in your business, I don't care if you're a high school principal, you're a coach, I don't care if you're a television personality, a motivational speaker, a trainer, a consultant, whatever it is, if you don't have a book, the 3% of the authors who are in your industry will step over you. Hear what I just said. 97% of the people on the planet who claim that they are an expert in their subject, and I'm not saying they're not. They probably are experts in their subject, but they're experts walking around with business cards. And the other 3% of individuals who are saying, I'm an expert on global warming. I'm an expert on motivation, inspiration. I'm an expert on sales development, on relationship skills. I'm an expert. What makes them stand out as an expert, anybody can proclaim they're an expert, is when you're talking to someone and you're handing them a book with your material in it. That doesn't just say you're an expert. It says that you're a brand. I want to help brand you. Now listen to me. I spent well over, and this is not an exaggeration, well over $100,000 in the development of my books and projects and even my personal book, From the Hood to Doing Good, my first individual book. I've spent well over $100,000 on the duplication process of this particular book. Has this book made me hundreds of thousands of dollars? Probably not as an author, and I've sold well over 100,000 copies. But it has made me millions every year because I'm a brand. The title of the book is From the Hood to Doing Good. See, hood, I am from the hood, but hood stands for hazardous obstacles of destruction. See, that's my brand. How do you overcome hazardous obstacles of destruction? The subtitle is From Adversity to Prosperity Through the Choices You Make. So I show people how I turn my mess into a message, the principles that I've used in my life to overcome the obstacles of my past. Why? Just like my book says. My past will not determine my future, and neither does it have to for you. So I'm an expert in that area. So here's the deal. If you've ever had a desire to be a published author, listen to me. Get out of your head. I want you to get out of your head, get into your greatness. Stop listening to that voice that says you're not qualified. Stop listening to that voice that says nobody's going to buy your book. I want you to listen to that voice that's talking to you, that inner winner that's within you that says, listen, you have a message to share with the world. You have a message to share to the planet, and the world deserves to hear your message. Let my team of experts pull that message out of you and turn it into a masterful chapter, a masterful book, because I am looking for individuals who are starting with nothing on paper, but they have a story in their heart, they have a story in their head, and they know that that story will be an impact to the planet. I want you to go to my website right now, CoStarAuthor.com. My team is waiting for you right now for you to submit your information, and we will set your interview up in the next 24 hours. I will personally interview you within 24 hours of you submitting your information right now. CoStarAuthor.com. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about investments. Don't worry about the lack of information that may be in your head. Don't worry about that. My team of experts will pull these stories out of you and turn them into masterful stories, masterful, complete book of, I'm looking for the word right now, an incredible book formulated by my team that you will be proud of. Barnes & Noble quality, Border quality, Amazon.com quality book. My name's going to be on it. Les Brown's name's going to be on it. Nick Halleck's name is going to be on it. And guess who else's name is going to be on that book? You. You. Imagine you being the next part of my next book project. Go to CoStarAuthor.com. And I want you to imagine your face being on that book cover. Your face next to Les Brown. Because Les Brown's in my new book. And you could be in the book too. We're interviewing people right now. We're narrowing down the process, and very few will be chosen, but every single one of you will be interviewed. And the reason I want you to go to CoStarAuthor.com right now, CoStarAuthor.com, click the link below. The reason I want you to go right now, it's not about you being approved to be in the book. It's me knowing who you are and knowing that you have an interest of being a published author. So even if there's not a fit on this particular book, We keep your files for the future. We will call you in the future. You will be at the top of the list in the future of interviews that I'm going to do as we are moving forward with new projects. So if you focus on limitations right now, you're going to get to keep your limitations. If you focus on opportunity right now, you're going to get opportunities. I want to be your business partner. I want to co-author a book with you. Do you have what it takes? And it's not about how great of a writer you are. I don't consider myself a great writer. I consider myself as someone who's great at speaking, and I just write what I speak about. So you don't have to be a great storyteller. You don't have to be a very creative writer. You just got to be open and allow my team to pull those stories out of you, because guess what? You're either going to go to the grave with your story and nobody's ever going to hear it, or you're going to share your story with me and I can possibly take it to the world. It's bigger than you. It's not just about you. It's about your story bringing impact to individuals around the world. And guess what happens when you write a book? It outlives you. So you'll have something that will outlive you. Let me help you become a published author. Let me help you get your story out there to the masses. Let me help you brand yourself as an expert where you're being interviewed on television and radio and speaking on stages across the planet, because you are that authority, that message, that brand. I'm going to turn your message into a brand, and you're going to be the expert of your subject. Don't worry about the how, the when, or the why. Let my team do that. Again, if you have a story to tell, I want to hear from you. Don't disqualify yourself based on time, based on investment, based on, your ability or inability to write. Do not disqualify yourself like that. Qualify yourself if you want to turn your mess into a message. If you want to create and share a story that can bring breakthrough and maybe even possibly save lives, please don't be selfish with that story. I want that story. CoStarAuthor.com, www.CoStarAuthor.com. Go there right now. Just submit the first 3 or 4 questions, and my team will be getting back with you to set up interviews before you know it. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. This is the Wealth Development Club with Johnny Wimbrey, and right now I am in the mode of finding individuals who have powerful stories that the world needs to hear. And if that's you, go to CoStarAuthor.com, CoStarAuthor.com right now. It doesn't matter where you are at in the world, anywhere in the world. This book will have stories from around the world. Anywhere in the world, any language that you speak, it doesn't matter. CoStarAuthor.com. I'm looking for hot stories, global, impactful stories that can literally bring light to the world. If that's you, CoStarAuthor.com. This is Johnny Wimbrey. Welcome to the Wealth Development Club. Thank you so much. It's been my honor and pleasure, and I look forward to interviewing you in the next 24, 48 hours. I want to hear your story. God bless. Hi, this is Johnny Wimbrey, and I want to invite you to step into the Wealth Development Club with me. I'm committed to awakening your inner wealth and increasing your financial wealth at the exact same time. So stay focused and join me in the Wealth Development Club with your host, Johnny Wimbrey.